Good morning, students. Hope you'll be fine at your respective places. In continuation to our last topic, that is the air pollution, in which we have discussed this, what we call as the sources of air pollution. Now we have got what we call as the types of these sources of air pollution. We have got now types of we have already discussed the sources of air pollution, and we have discussed five main sources. First one is the industrial pollutant. Then we have studied the automobile. Then we have studied the burning of fossil fuel. Then we have studied the agricultural activities, and also we have discussed the suspended particulate matter. Today we are going to discuss types of these sources of air pollution. Today we are going to discuss types of sources of air pollution. Now, जो हमारे पास sources of air pollution हैं, they can be discussed under three categories. They can be discussed under three categories. First one जो हमारे पास आता है, that is called as point, that is called as fixed, that is called as stationary source. So first type of sources of air pollution first हमारे पास है, that is the point, that is maybe the fixed, or that may be the stationary source. Now these sources अगर हम इनकी बात कर लेंगे, they add pollutants to certain restricted areas, या हम कहेंगे restricted areas oblique specific areas. So these pollutants, they are, when we study that the source of air pollution is the point type, हमारे पास एक है point, or we can say it fixed, we can say it is stationary. These pollutants, they what we call it, they add the pollutants, these sources, they add the pollutants to the restricted or specific areas. अगर हम इसकी एग्जाम्पल जानने की कोशिश करेंगे, what are the various examples of this? These may be industries. First, we have got second one, that is the electrical power plants. या हमारे पास एक और है, that is this smelters. That is example. So these add pollutants to the restricted areas or specific areas. This is one. Second जो हमारे पास है, that is called as line, or we can say mobile sources. अगर हम इस टाइप ऑफ सोर्स ऑफ एयर पोल्यूशन की बात करेंगे, they add pollutants, they also add pollutants. लेकिन किस तरह they add? यहां पर हम देखते हैं point और फिक्स, हम देखते हैं they add pollutants to the restricted areas or specific areas, where in this case they add pollutants along narrow belts over long distance. So they become a sort of line. They, for example, in this is a belt, this is a narrow belt, and these pollutants, they are added in this narrow belt. They do not scatter to this way or to this way, but into a narrow belt over long distances. अगर हम यहाँ पर example जानने की कोशिश कर लेंगे, we have got automobiles, that is the vehicles, various types of the automobiles. We have got the, इसमें हम क्या देखेंगे, एरोप्लेन्स है, जेट एरोप्लेन्स है, एक्स्ट्रा. देन थर्ड सोर्स ऑफ एयर पोल्यूशन जो हमारे पास है, third source, that is the area source. Huh? What does this type of source do? They add smoke, they add gases, but over a wide, oblique, large areas. They add smoke, they add gases over a wide और large areas. अगर हम यहाँ पर इसकी एग्जाम्पल जानने की कोशिश कर लेंगे, सिटीज जहां पर ये ज्यादा हो जाता है, या उनकी टाउन्स जहां पर ऐसे एरिया सोर्सेज हमारे पास पाए जाते हैं. सो एरिया सोर्सेज, दे ऐड स्मोक, दे ऐड गैसेज ओवर अ वाइड ओब्लिक लार्ज एरियाज. For example, we have got the cities, we have got the town. So this was all about the types of the sources of the air pollution. Now we will proceed further. That is the air pollutants. Air pollutants. There are mainly two types of air pollutants. There are mainly two types of air pollutants. First one जो हमारे पास आता है, that is called as primary air pollutants. And in this primary air pollutants, we have got various types. For example, oxides of carbon. For example, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, oxides of sulfur, for example, sulfur dioxide, comma, sulfur trioxide. C. Oxides of nitrogen, for example, nitrogen dioxide. D part, हाइड्रोकार्बन्स. ई इसमें आ जाता है फर्टिलाइजर्स. एफ हमारे पास आता है व्हाट वी कॉल्ड एज दिस पेस्टिसाइड्स लाइक DDT, डाइक्लोरो डाइफिनाइल ट्राइक्लोरोइथेन, या BHC, benzene hexachloride. This is the primary air pollutant. So we have got the two types of the air pollutants. First one is the primary air pollutants, namely oxides of carbon like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, oxides of sulfur like sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide, oxides of nitrogen like nitrogen dioxide, fourth hydrocarbons, fifth fertilizers, sixth pesticides like DDT, dichloro diphenyl trichloride, and BIC, benzene hexachloride. सेकंड जो हमारे पास है, दैट इज द सेकेंडरी एयर पोल्यूटेंट्स. अब हम इसकी एग्जाम्पल्स देख लेंगे. पैन. What is this PAN? इसका फुल फॉर्म देखिए, एब्रीवेटेड फॉर्म. फुल फॉर्म हमारे पास आता है पर ऑक्सी एसिटाइल नाइट्रेट. पर ऑक्सी एसिटाइल नाइट्रेट. What is this PAN? We will study it later on. सेकंड हमारे पास आता है ओजोन, थर्ड हमारे पास है नाइट्रिक एसिड HNO3, फोर्थ हमारे पास आता है सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड H2SO4. So these are secondary these air pollutants which cause the pollution of the air, and they mainly are of हमने एक चार का यहाँ पर जिक्र किया, that is the pan, peroxide, styrene, nitrate. What is this? We will study it later on. Ozone is there, nitric acid is there, and sulfuric is there, and we have got the primary air pollutants. We have got these oxides of carbon like carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. We have oxides of sulfur like sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. We have got oxides of nitrogen like nitrogen dioxide. We have got the hydrocarbons. We have got the fertilizers, and what we have got pesticides like DDT, and we have got the BIC DDT, full form dichlorodiphene trichloroethane, and BIC benzene hexachloride. This was all about today. We will proceed further in this air pollution. Until then, goodbye. God bless you. Thanks.